You know, the time and the way playing Bionic Commando back in the days when I was a kid was actually this. This game was the alternative since I never had an NES, and it was fun, challenging and sometimes frustrating, but nonetheless awesome. I mean, even the idea of using an extendable arm instead of jumping on platforms was pretty original for its time. And yeah, the background is black and the graphics are rather standard, but the controls are rock solid, the music is badass and the action was and still is top notch. Memories. After almost 20 years, Capcom and the Swedish developer Grin brought the Bionic experience back to the next-gen consoles. During a time where the gaming market is literally flooded with sequels to popular franchises such like Metal Gear Solid, Mega Man, Halo, Bioshock and many others. Bionic Commando Rearmed marked the beginning as a remake to the original Bionic Commando for PS3, 360 and the PC. That game received outstanding feedback from the critics and gamers as well. So there was no question that the 3D sequel to it was also highly anticipated. And today I'll give you my opinions on it. As I saw Bionic Commando for the first time, I haven't read that many reviews about it. Many people described it as a Spider-Man ripoff, and in general it wasn't that well accepted amongst gamers and critics. But I saw some footage from it on Armic21's Ustream channel and I thought, looks pretty sweet. So, one day I was at a local GameStop with some titles which I wanted to trade in and eventually got Bionic Commando for my 360 to give it a try. Do I regret it?
Not anymore.
I second that, Spencer. Bionic Commando seriously surprised me in many levels. Where do I start? Oh yeah, the storyline for instance. Even though I haven't really played the first Bionic Commando for its storyline, the continuation here goes from badass to epic. Many people criticize the story for its cheesiness, and that seems to be the main reason for the quote-unquote unlikable main protagonist. Well, let me tell you this. The entire story of Bionic Commando wasn't intended to be a hard-to-swallow pill with Shakespeare-like dialogues. There are more than enough titles out there with melodramatic plots, and for an action game like Bionic Commando, the plot works actually very well. And yeah, Spencer with dreadlocks is just looking badass, no doubt about it. Even though you can unlock his original outfit, which looks a little bit outdated for my tastes, I don't have any problems with his style. It's rebellious and just fresh. And Spencer is unlikable? I think I would be pissed off too if someone would betray me and took my wife. How would you feel in this situation? Definitely not happy, that's for sure. Moving on to the actual core, the gameplay. You're looking for a game with responsive controls, an amazing learning curve and a balanced AI? Well, Bionic Commando is the game for you. Everything from the fighting to using your bionic arm is just well executed and rock solid. An extensive tutorial at the beginning of the game explains the essentials so good, I'm literally surprised how anyone can bitch about it. The same goes to the difficulty in it. And I'll tell you right now, if you are into an intense challenge, choose one of the higher difficulties. But all in all, Bionic Commando is far away from being unfair or even cheesy. Like in the classic Bionic Commando from back in the days, it's all about trial and error. Simply running into a mass of enemies in the harder difficulty won't help you much. There's always a pattern of which your foes are following, and the more you keep that in mind, you shouldn't have that many issues. That old school mentality that we're missing so much in those games today is here, and the accomplishment at the end of each level is very redeeming. The weapons in Bionic Commando are a little bit basic, but since the bionic arm is the actual key feature here, it's understandable. And speaking of the bionic arm, that's one awesome device. The flexibility and the actions that you can perform with it are just awesome. Swinging through the landscape, throwing an enemy into the ground, zip kicking one from a platform, smashing a group with a vehicle. Man, I wish I could get one for Christmas. And since the controls are so easy to grasp, it's even more fun. Even though the campaign mode isn't that long, it has its moments and you can even play them once they are unlocked. I can't really say much about the multiplayer modes since I haven't played online. But it contains some classic modes like Capture the Flag and Deathmatch, and you can't go wrong with those at all. Graphically, Bionic Commando is one slick looking title. It's very detailed and fits very well with the action on screen. You may not see the full frame rate here on my video, but it runs amazingly fast and there are only a few slowdowns. The music here has seriously become one of my favorite soundtracks for a video game, seriously. From the calm but yet encouraging piano version of the original Bionic Commando theme, to the orchestral and adrenaline pumping pieces during the gameplay, this OST takes you to a ride that you will never forget. The voice actors are doing a very good job. Above all, Faith No More's vocalist Mike Padden as Nathan Brad Spencer. Next to David Hayter, he's one awesome voice actor, and I hope to hear more of him in future titles. Speaking of the future for a sequel to Bionic Commando seems to be uncertain since it didn't sold that well, which is kinda sad. I mean, we have such a fine game here that mixes the old school mentality with high definition graphics and great gameplay, and it's just a shame how many people are just listening to the opinions of so-called professionals instead of trying the game for themselves. But I have hopes that when the price is sinking, more people are getting into it and will maybe appreciate the actual nature of this game, like me and other people out there. Just like in Beyond Good and Evil and many other underrated games. So, all I can say is that you should get Bionic Commando for the 360, the PS3 and the PC right now. And I hope for Capcom and Grin that they will create a sequel to it in the future. I mean, after all he has to go through, Spencer seriously deserved it.